Yo, we just people from the north side. Once the Timmy's hit the shore fine. Winter ready on the four ties. Heavy traffic during 4-5. Gotta hustle on your own time. Color people every port side. We just people from the north side.
What's going on, guys? Your host, your boy George Mackay here, Straight Talk Wrestling, gearing up to gear down. And for the last time, let me welcome the Straight Talk Wrestling, the one and only. Maybe he'll let me get away with it at the end of the interview, but I won't introduce him as it now. Gabriel Fuerza. How are you, sir?
I'm good. What did you refer to yourself as just then? The hoster?
Your host, your boy.
Have you? Oh, your host, your boy.
Yeah, I've always said that. It's your host, your
Okay.
boy, George Mackay. Yes,
I
sir.
thought I thought you said all one word like hoster as never mind.
No, no, did not. Listen, I get it. I'm older, so a lot of things I do don't make sense as I get in the what's it called, geriatric years, I guess you'd
Mm,
say. I'm 41 now. It's dangerous.
it's okay. Before you know it, I'll be there.
Yeah, like, well, how old are you now? Like 30?
31.
Okay, so you're only 10 years younger than me. Okay, that's not
Yeah.
bad. Yeah, you will definitely be there. But you know what? You'll be in a lot better shape than I am. That's for fucking damn sure.
Yeah, maybe.
Listen, I can teach you how to get the dad bod all good for yourself, okay? I can teach you how to build it. It's fine. It's fine. So let's talk New Wave. This is going to drop sometime in August, as much as my last conversation with Alexi Nicole. But I want to get your take on New Wave and the training school and how all that came to be.
Um, as you know, I taught at Battle Arts for a long time. Um, Jody basically had the opportunity to get something going. She had a funder basically, um, just because we're all broke and we don't have the money to start a school all by ourselves. So the thought was always there, but it was never really a possibility at the moment. But yeah, when the potential investor got involved, that's when it all kind of became real. Um, One thing led to another, and here we are. Like that's really all there is to it. There's nothing crazy.
Yeah, no, I didn't think there was, but I did know that you guys had like your first couple of signups was quite the decent sized number for a first time opening of a school, was it not? From what I heard through the grapevine?
Yeah, yeah. I think we just had the benefit of, like I said, I taught at Battle Arts for like 3 or 4 years, so I had a lot of guys not only get to know me but start with me. Like I was pretty much the only coach they had up until we added Mark Wheeler, Saber, and John Greed. So I think they just felt, well, this is my trainer. I'm gonna go where my trainer is going. Um, and yeah, it just kind of worked out that way.
Right on. Right on. I like that. I like that. But of course, you guys also had the benefit of, again, a lot of you are household names and Jody Threat, being part of the TNA roster, that doesn't hurt as well. That's kind of like a built-in resume
Yeah.
test, really.
Yeah, we definitely have like a decent enough following between the 4 or 5 of us that are involved. So yeah, that definitely doesn't hurt.
Right on. I asked this question of Alexia yesterday, and I think you might be able to give me a pretty cool answer as well. When you see one of your students kind of achieve one of their small obtainable goals during training, as a trainer, does that give you that little sense of glee, the little sense of like, look at my student, look at my kid, and they're getting it. It's like me when my daughters took their first steps. I was like, look at that, they didn't smack their face on anything. This is a win. So like,
Uh,
when something
yeah,
like that happens?
no, definitely. That's like my favorite thing. That's like and I think pretty much every trainer will agree, that's like the aha moment. It's like it not only does it mean like, yeah, you're proud of them, but it also means like, hell yeah, like I know what I'm doing. You get a lot of imposter syndrome when you're teaching. I definitely don't think I should be teaching people, but I've somehow gotten away with it this long. Um, and so when I can pass on a skill, especially to somebody who doesn't get it right away, because some people just get things. Some people are like already kind of athletic and rolling, for example, comes really easy to them. Some people haven't rolled since they were, babies, so it's a lot harder. And when you can get those people to really nail a skill, you feel great. You feel happy for them. You feel good about, that you're teaching them. It means you're doing something right. And typically, because we have such a good kind of environment there, there's also like a additional good feeling because everybody is also feeling good. You know what I mean? Like, I can think of one example. I do a headstand, usually in the rolling kind of portion of class, a headstand in the corner.
Mhm.
You'll see some wrestlers do it in spots, but it's a really good kind of like body control thing to have. So I have people do it. Most people don't get it on the first day. Most people don't get it on the first month. It takes a while. One particular student who I won't name just in case he gets embarrassed about it, but he's been greenlit by us. But when he started, he had a lot of issues, I guess. He was on the shorter side. He was kind of out of shape. He had asthma. A little bit injury prone. Nothing crazy, but like for wrestling, it's going to be an uphill battle. And he knew that, so that's another thing that he had to get over is the mental aspect of it. But I remember the day that he finally nailed the headstand. He's literally like, upside down, going like hell yeah," and like everybody on the apron is like erupting, and you're feeling good, and you're yelling hell yeah. Yeah, so it's always a good moment.
I like that. I like that. That's a great story. That's a great story. And you know what? I'm glad you didn't name names because it leads to the imagination, but also doesn't matter. It was a story about somebody achieving an obtainable goal. And I myself would never embarrass anybody for that because I can't do half the shit you guys do. And I know it. I know it completely. But I have to ask this when it comes to, I guess, being greenlit and how that process, because I hear that word being thrown around a lot.
Mhm.
Collectively, as you and your coaching staff, all of you collectively together as the coaching staff, do you guys all agree on when someone's ready to be greenlit? Like if somebody, shows improves in everyone's classes and they're catching stuff and they're understanding the athleticism and the wherewithal it takes to put on a wrestling match, do you guys come together as like a one consensus saying yes, we all agree you're greenlit, or is it just up to one select person?
No, I think it's a consensus thing. It hasn't happened yet, but I think in theory, if somebody were to veto it, then that would be the end of it, or rather, it'd be, put on hold. Um, Typically, it's either somebody brings it up and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, like that's exactly what we were thinking too," or somebody brings it up and then, there's like a kind of period where everybody's keeping a closer eye on this person just to see what it is that they need to fix before, we can do that. Or, I don't know, decide whether or not they're already there. But yeah, I would argue that it's unanimous. I think in the hypothetical situation that somebody brought a name up that I didn't agree with, I would probably actively put my foot down and say no. Just because it's so important that people are well trained. Not only because wrestling's super dangerous, you got to make sure that they're safe and they're keeping their opponent safe. But also now they have our kind of seal of approval on them. So, if we're sending out people who don't know how to like, I don't know, like safely suplex somebody or something, and they're throwing suplexes, then obviously that's going to come back to us. It's going to look badly on us, and therefore badly on the school, and therefore badly on the students. So, uh, it's all this like interconnected kind of web that affects everybody. So we take super extra care in making sure who we green light. And I think if anybody brought a name up and we weren't all totally on board, then we would probably just be like, okay, let's put it on pause. Let's see what they need to improve on. Um, and then, go from there.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Now, has there ever been a rare occurrence, not so much in you, but have you ever heard through the grapevine? Again, this is why I love these evolving conversations you and I have because we're well past the where did you train, how did you first? We're past all that shit. We're in the meat and potatoes of a lot of our conversations, which is awesome. But has there ever been a rare occurrence where someone, a student, has thought, you know what, I myself know that I can do this, and I don't care what my coaches say, I'm going to start taking bookings. Has there ever been an occurrence like that where you have to say, "Hey, listen, I didn't greenlight this kid. If he's taking bookings, book him at your own risk."
Technically, once it happened, um, but it's kind of complicated. There was another school that I taught at, but I only taught at it briefly.
Mhm.
I would teach once a week, maybe for, I don't know, a couple months. Really doesn't build to much time at all. When that school closed down, one of their students basically said, I taught him and I'm greenlit. Um, People have reached out and I say, I wasn't really his coach. He did do a couple sessions with me. Um, but if you're asking me, no, he's not greenlit. That said, I'm not gonna, message the person and be like, hey, what the fuck are you doing? I don't know. I think we're all adults here, and I'm not gonna go try to talk to a grown man and like it's not my job, you know. Um, I do think it's a little bit more on the promoters who are not doing their due diligence.
Mhm.
Some people would argue that it's not. Some people would say, well, it's not the promoter's fault. They can't, police. But yeah, if you ask me, that's kind of your job. If you're organizing an event, whatever that event is, it is your job to make sure that, everything's up to code, as one would say. Um, I think yeah, I mean, I 100% think it's the promoter. Obviously, if somebody's out there and they know they're not greenlit and they're trying to take bookings anyway, um, that is on them. But they're just gonna have to deal with the consequences, whatever that may be, whether they hurt themselves, hurt somebody else. I think wrestling schools are super accessible, more accessible than they've ever been. Pretty much no matter where you live in Ontario, you can find a place. It's just up to you whether you want to do it. I would travel 2.5 hours from my wrestling school. People sometimes can't even be bothered to do an hour, right? Like you either want it or you don't, and you either respect the business or you don't. If you don't, then you'll take bookings as somebody who's not a wrestler. Um, but some people don't see it that way. We had one student as well who felt that he should be on shows. Um, I don't remember really if he ever brought it up to me or if he just kind of like expressed it. Uh, we didn't think he was at the point where he should be on shows, so he just quit and he went to another school.
Mm.
That happens all the time. No hard feelings. Sometimes people like that become what I call like lifelong trainees. They just bounce from one school to the other because at the end of the day, nobody puts up with a bad attitude, and no wrestling coach is going to put up with somebody who thinks they know more than they do because you know what I mean? They just don't. So yeah, that's happened. I don't take the second one personally. The second one, or sorry, the first one does rub me the wrong way, and there is always the urge to be like, you're booking someone unsafe. Um, but typically the people who book said person are uh sketchy in their own right.
Mm. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Sketchiness breeds sketchiness. I completely understand.
Yeah.
I want to switch gears for a second here because I think this is an interesting question that again you can give a fantastic answer because you mentioned it yourself earlier that you don't think you should be teaching people, but yet you've greenlit a decent amount of students and
hmm
a lot of students have you passed on knowledge.
mm
I and I've seen you in the ring. You're very skilled and you are without a doubt one of the safest people and you're great at telling these stories. So why don't you think you should be training people?
Uh, I don't really know.
Is that little voice inside your head again?
No, I think there's more to it than that. Um I think I know a decent amount, but really I'm like just over 10 years in. That's really just scratching the surface of like wrestling.
Hmm.
Um, I just think there's so much to learn. And I'm not even talking about like intricate holds or different styles or stuff like that. That's like opening up a whole nother Pandora's box. But I don't know. There's just a lot of to me basic things that I'm always like, am I sure of this? Let me double check. You know what I mean? Um, and I will say I've gotten a lot better because I've been doing this for a while now, but I think I have a similar problem that somebody like a Stu Grayson has, where things came so easy to us that we're like, oh, this is how you do it. You're gonna jump in the air, you're gonna tuck your head, and there you go. You should land on your feet. No problem. Go ahead, try it. And not everybody is like that. Some people need to be, everything needs to be broken into smaller steps. I don't want to say baby because they're not babying them. It's just, you know, adjusting to everybody's needs. And I'm getting better at that. I'm getting better at understanding that not everybody has the uh, agility, I guess, that I do in some things. Um, so that's definitely one thing where I'm just like, well, just do it. It's easy. And it's not easy. Um, I don't know, like It's so weird because I think about wrestling training when I was in wrestling training,
Mm.
and truly I remember so little. I remember the good vibes, and I remember like moments, and I remember certain things, but I don't know, like there's so much chain wrestling, for example, that I can't remember learning. It's just something that I kind of know how to do. I obviously learned it, but I don't retain remember learning it, so I can't really think of like the little details. So
So would you say
uh,
that's more like muscle memory at this point? I know how to do it. I know how to make it happen, but I don't know how to break it down and show someone else.
to a degree, yes. Like I know how to show people the way I do it,
Yeah, I didn't.
but
Please don't take offense. I didn't mean
no,
anything.
no, no, no. I just mean like there's some things that I teach. For example, there's a seminar that I went to years ago with Josh Alexander, and I remember he went over basing for suplexes and back suplexes, and I was like, like that makes so much sense. Why haven't I been doing it this way? Whatever. Yeah, I'm retaining it. So it's very easy for me to go to class and be like, this is how you do a proper suplex, proper back suplex. And I explain why, because Josh explained why. And I explain like where exactly they want to be and what you should be able to do and blah, blah, blah. And that I'm very confident in knowing I'm teaching this properly. Everything about this is proper. I can understand why I'm doing it. I can understand everything about it, and I can do it safely, and I can teach people to do it safely, and it's great. Uh, but with like something like chain wrestling, I'm like, well, this is how I've always done a wrist lock, so that makes sense, right? I can't really be like, oh, I gotta hold here because this reason. It's just that makes sense to me, and like I'm applying my own kind of wrestling logic to it. You know what I mean? But if somebody else were to come over and be like, well, actually, I like to do it this way, and I'm not going to dispute that because I don't really know. I don't know if they're, wrong. There are some things that are obviously wrong. I'm not going to hold a wrist lock out way from my chest, right? I'm going to get it nice and close so I have some sort of control over it. But like little things like that, um, mind you, I don't teach what I don't know. And if people ask me like, hey, I want to learn this, I'll be like, I can show you what I do, but I don't know if it's right. You might want to ask Mark Wheeler, or you might want to ask Shane Saber. Um, and kind of looping back to the whole new wave thing, that's why I like being a part of this because I can lean on the other coaches. Um, Shane trained with at my school, so we've got that kind of shared connection. Mark Wheeler trained at Superkick, so he's got a whole nother kind of bag of tricks he can look into. Freedom trained at Battle Arts with Santina, so he's got a whole nother trick. Jody's been on the road learning from people who are much better than me, so you know what I mean? Like we can all lean on each other in that way. If we don't know something, maybe the next person does, maybe the next person does, blah 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 blah. Um, but yeah, it's just I don't know. I feel like I'm not there yet. I'm not like knowledgeable enough yet. Like all my mentors have been these like 20-year veterans that, went up and down these highways and byways and like, just learned from every legend you could think of. Um, so there are a lot of things I'm lacking. But I will say, with all the seminars and going to Wales and all that sort of stuff, I've learned a lot of new things that I can apply to my teaching, but also things that reinforce my teaching and like I guess make me more confident about things that I have been teaching and being like, oh, whew, thank God I taught that right. Like, um, you know what I mean?
I,
Um, yeah, it honestly it probably is mostly imposter syndrome, but it is also like it's just so, like I said, crucial to do things properly um, that I get very nervous if I'm ever teaching something even a little bit not right. You know what I mean? Uh, so yeah, I don't know. That's the long-winded answer.
No, I listen, honestly, I love the in-depth answers that you give. And you know what, you mentioned Josh Alexander earlier, and this is how good we are at segueing now. When Josh Alexander left the Ontario Indies, I feel like there was, a solid locker room leader that was missing. And I feel like in so many ways, shapes, and forms, so many different individuals have kind of picked up that locker room leadership ability. And what I mean by that is not someone who necessarily goes around and polices things, but someone who's willing to defend when they feel that someone needs to be defended. And one thing I could talk about earlier, if I'm okay to bring it up, Matt Grant. Matt Grant was kind of given a little bit of a shitstorm in the Ontario Indie Wrestling Facebook page, and you came out and just released a statement. You didn't name names. You just said, "Listen, I would work with Matt Grant any day of the week." That to me is leadership quality. That to me is someone that's standing up and saying, "Listen, I don't think what's happening is correct, but this is what I feel about this individual." What would you say? You're in agreement with what I said there, or
I guess. I just love to talk, I guess. Like, I don't know, man. Like, we're play fighting, like respect the business, but like we're play fighting. It's not that deep, Like,
okay.
there's no reason to just drag people's name through the mud. There is a time and place, like if somebody were, I don't know, mega dangerous or I don't know, hard to think of a specific example, but like there are times where you call people out.
Mhm.
Um, but you don't like the way this guy looks or works or whatever. Like the guy's safe. The guy does his job well. Um, could he be in better shape? Maybe. So could 99% of Ontario,
Damn, I
like
fucking could. I know this.
yeah, it's like just shut up. Like I have nothing against really like most people in Ontario, but like just leave each other alone, man. Like who cares? Don't-
But I mean, that's the unfortunate drawback to social media is that anyone with an opinion can put their opinion out there.
Yeah, I don't know. Matt cornered me, literally cornered me at PWO and was like, "I just want to thank you." And I was like, "No, please, like stop. Don't thank like you don't need to thank me because you're the one who did the work. You know what I mean? Like I'm just like megaphoning it, But even so, like I have, what who am I to say anything, right? Like y-
100%.
I am just saying like I would work with you. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to like be a hero. I'm not trying to stand up to whomever. I, I'm putting on my own personal Facebook, like, hey, I think Matt Grant is pretty fine. Like, you know, nobody needs to thank me for anything like that. Like, put in the work. I'm just gonna speak my mind. It's all good.
Absolutely. Listen, absolutely. And again, I'm not trying to poke the bear or saying, I'm just saying that you have a leadership quality that I feel a lot of people, you know, should in this world. I know I could be more of a, vocal in terms of things that I believe in, but a lot of times I have that imposter syndrome too. I'm so afraid to put out content, or I've been so afraid to do this or that, or some people have made it seem like I forced situations. Have I ever forced you into a podcast interview? Have I ever made you feel uncomfortable in any way?
I probably wouldn't have done 7 if you did.
That's true. No, that's fair.
Uh,
And speaking of that, and again, I'm not one to toot my own horn, but 10 years, long time to be, bringing up the scene, vocalizing, helping a lot of these individuals share their stories and share, their journeys because it's been amazing. And I have to ask this because a lot of people don't know this. You and I, we have a mutual respect for each other. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say anything else. I could see the grin. You're like, he's going to say it. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. But out of all the conversations that you and I have had, and look at that. Who's that?
my cat.
No, what's his? Yeah, I get that. I figured that. I figured it was a cat. What's its name?
I'm not releasing her name to the public.
Okay, fair enough. Gabriel Fuerza has a cat that we all don't know the name. But, I've been on this journey for 10 years. You've been in this business for 10 years. What would you say is the one thing about Straight Talk, I guess, that keeps you coming back?
You keep asking, and I'm too nice to say no. No, I don't know. Eh, chill, You never know when you do podcasts because like sometimes it's just the same old questions, and like the same questions can be fine, but sometimes it takes people a while to find their footing, and they're kind of awkward, and obviously they're interviewing you because they're as low on the totem pole as you are. If they were pros, then they'd be interviewing, Josh Alexander. But
Yeah, I've had Josh on the show a few times.
I know, but like, like a Chris Van Vliet, Josh
Oh, listen,
Alexander
I,
episode.
yeah, buddy, I'm nowhere near Chris Van Vliet. Never will touch him. Never. I know this.
Yeah, it's just if it feels like indie wrestling in the sense that like it's also like, it's quote unquote like indie podcasting, So they can be hit or miss in the sense of like, oh, that one was kind of awkward. I've never had one that's been like bad. Actually, no, that's not true. I had one that I had to message the host after and was like, "You should not do this anymore." But that was a pro wrestler, so it's
Okay,
okay.
gotcha,
They had
gotcha.
something else to fall back on. But yeah, I don't know. I just I like talking and you like listening, so
It's the perfect way to put it. Well, I mean, I've been asking everybody for, if they want to shout out videos and stuff like that. So I hope before I wrap it up in December, I get a Fuerza shout out video, at least something like, "Hey man, that would be it." That's all I would expect from you. I would not expect some deep, heartfelt message because I know it's not going to be 10 minutes, and I'm okay with that. So if you have the time before December wraps up when I do my farewell show, I hope to get one from you. But no
sure.
pressure. No pressure. I promise, no pressure. Now listen, like I said, this is going to drop August, probably early August, mid-August. I'm going to try to get it out there before C4 has their cancer show. They've raised, from what I understand, quite over 600 or $700,000 for cancer research over the amount of years that they've been doing this. And I know it's a big show. Alexia mentioned it's one of her favorites, and I know there are a lot of other talents that have mentioned it. Junior Benito has mentioned it. McCray Mar. Everybody's mentioned that this is one of their favorite shows. They love being a part of when they get the opportunity to. What is it about this show that just has that great vibe and environment of the fact that you're working and helping to raise something to fight such a horrible, horrible disease?
Like you said, it's the fact that you're doing something positive. Um, Wrestling is wrestling, and you can only do so much with wrestling. So it's nice to have that kind of once a year thing that you're like, I'm working for free. I'm gonna have a good time. I'm doing it solely just for fun. Everybody's feeling good backstage. Everybody's feeling good out in the crowd. Just it's just good vibes. It feels like you're doing something, you know?
I like that. Feels like you're doing something. I like that. I like
It's different than any other wrestling show because any other wrestling show you're just like I want to wrestle or I need money. And this one it's completely opposite. It's you're helping a cause.
Absolutely, absolutely. You're 100% right. And it's a great show. I've never been out to it yet, but I have watched some footage and some highlights. I do have to get my butt out there. So maybe this August is an opportunity for me to get my ass out to Ottawa. I mean, I tend to drive through Ottawa because that's where a lot of our government takes place. And God knows I fucking hate our government. So I tend to drive through the city. But C4, if there's a reason to stop in Ottawa, it's definitely C4, 100%. A couple more questions. I'll let you go enjoy the rest of your evening. But when
Yeah.
it comes to, well, let's circle back to the training because I think this is an interesting part of the conversation we've never tapped into. When it comes to training and stuff like that, like you said, you've been in this for 10 years. We've talked about the fact that, you kind of put traveling outside of Ontario on hold because you were nervous or maybe it wasn't accessible or this and that. Are you also teaching students to do different things? And obviously, with this New Wave kind of partnership, there's a beeline to go out to Cardiff and go out to all the locations that New Wave has to get that training. Are you encouraging a lot of your students, take advantage of that opportunity if they get a chance to go abroad?
Definitely. Sorry, I gotta go turn off my stove. Can you hear that beeping? It's like singing. I don't know
Paint,
why
paint.
appliances sing now. Sorry, give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, yeah, it's all good, dude. All
Sorry.
good.
I thought it was gonna stop. It just kept going.
That's amazing. All right, do you want me to repeat the question again?
It's up to you. I think I got it though.
All right, so I'll just George edit point. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. Even before we had the new school opened, I was telling the guys, like, you gotta go. You like not even just to Cardiff, just go. Like, I think you cannot enjoy wrestling to its maximum potential if you don't travel. And that's not necessarily like to Europe or to like Japan or anything. Like sometimes it's literally just like Vancouver or Calgary or Quebec, like it's just get out of where you are. Um, I have such a problem with there's like a bubble in specifically Hamilton of decent wrestlers who just I don't know whether maybe they're just doing it for fun or I don't know, but they exist in that bubble and only that bubble. Uh, if you don't go to a show in Hamilton, you won't see them. And sometimes they do more than just one promotion, but it's just there's so many promotions in Hamilton that they're like, well, I can wrestle 4 times a month and not even leave home. And it sounds good and it sounds great, but like you need to leave. You need to try other places. You need to wrestle in front of different crowds. You need to meet new people. You need to see new places. it's what makes wrestling fun. You can only, do fun sort of spots for so long, right? Like you really just got to go. Um, so I tell the guys all the time. I remember it might not have been the first class that I did there, but one of the first classes, I sat everybody down and I gave them this whole big speech. And in the speech, I said, one of you could be like a future world champion. You could be future, IWGP Unified Mega Champion, uh, but you won't be that if you stay here. I can't give that to you. I can't go to Japan, pick it up, and give it to you. I can't do it. I would if I could. You have to go get it. You have to go wherever it is that you want to go to get those things. Opportunity will not come to you. You have to go get it. Um, that's something that a lot of people don't understand, and something that I didn't understand early on, right? So I really try to push my students to not make the same mistakes I did. I push them to work out early, um, travel early. And so there was four guys, three or four guys that went to the UK before New Wave opened up, and I sent them to the original New Wave. They had a great time. They were buzzing. They loved wrestling even more than ever. And they come back and they kind of got the post travel withdrawals, but that's what fuels you. Like, you know what I mean? That's what gets you through life. Like, life sucks. Whether you have a really good job, a really mid job, a really bad job, life just sucks. Um, that's one of the reasons people cling on to wrestling so much, right? It's how they express themselves. It's how they release everything that's bubbling down inside, right? It's their art form. So why wouldn't you want to expand your art form and learn how to do it differently and learn how other people do their art form, right? So go, let it fuel you, feel that urge to go back, work hard at life because we have to do it. There's no getting around it. So work hard at life and then go again, you know? So yes, the answer is yes. I definitely encourage people to get out of here as soon as they can. We'll be here when they come back.
Yeah, that's true. You will definitely always be there. And would you like, I mean, when you look at some of your students and you look at like the future of Ontario indie wrestling, are you excited by the prospects of who's there? Not so much not necessarily in your school, but even some of the younger prospects that you've seen coming up. Some prospects and names that you mentioned in our last conversation, like Jay Lynn. You said she has no right to be as good as she is, but she's
Mhm.
one of those prospects that really could elevate this scene like you did, like Vertigo did, like Josh Alexander did. There's a lot of names that you could say have elevated the Ontario indie scene, and a lot of names that I'm forgetting to mention. So I apologize to anyone who catches feelings because I didn't mention their name. But when you look at like the crop of young talent that's coming up behind you guys, because you guys were once the crop of young talent coming up. Now there's a
Mhm.
next generation that's coming up in line. Are you excited about what the future holds?
Yeah, definitely. I won't I won't
I'm
name
not
names.
asking you to name dude. I'm not asking you to name
No, no,
names.
no, it's fine.
This whole
I,
conversation, I feel
I
like you think I'm putting you on the spot,
no,
and
no,
I'm
no.
fucking not.
No, no. The only reason I say that is because I would name names, but the last time I did this, see, no offense, I don't mean this to sound offensive, but whenever you do podcasts, you're like, nobody's gonna hear this, nobody's gonna listen to this, right? And it's not because I think your podcast is bad. It's because I think
Thanks.
like, no,
Thanks.
no, I think it's because nobody wants to listen to me, right?
I'm just gonna
And
leave. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. No, it's fine. It's fine.
and then it turns out that people do listen, and I have found out that some of my students listen to nearly everything I do. So the last time we did this, and I was like, "Oh, Roger and Husher is really good." He literally showed it to me the other day. He like pulled it up on his phone, pressed play, and was like, "You'll never be able to like live this down," or I don't know what he said, but he was like, "You'll never be able to take this back," and I was like, "Uh-oh." Well, I mean, it's true, but I didn't want you to like,
I don't want you to hold it like a fucking hostage for the rest of my life, bro.
Yeah, so no, I'm definitely excited. I think, yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of people, especially because I've been doing a lot of like GCWs and those kind of shows lately, where
Mhm,
I'm working a lot of the new talent because they book a lot of new talent.
mhm,
Um, so yeah, definitely. I will say, maybe it's bias. I do think our students are like very well rounded. I think there's a lot of really good wrestlers out there, but I think our students are not only good wrestlers, but they're coming up with really nice characters. A lot of them are getting physically in shape. Um, so I do think we have that going for us, but there's definitely some kids like usual. I mean, I think Rip is underrated when it comes to his kind of like legacy because he built like a whole little generation of wrestlers that are really pretty good now. Um, so I'm sure that whoever's coming out of Rips right now is also pretty decent. I know I won't name it again, but there's a current young tag team that I think has potential. Um, I think, like I said last time, the guys that came out of Ben's school, Crossbody, they have a lot of potential. Um, let's see, even some guys from C or not C4, the Keep and IWS. There's there's potential everywhere.
Mhm.
It really just depends whether people are willing to take that time to improve. Because like I said, some people are just prodigies. Some people just the day they step in the wrestling ring, they're like, "Oh, I'm great at this," right?
Yeah.
I don't know if there's quite a prodigy level talent in Ontario right now. That's somebody who just like, oh shit, like they just got everything like first try. Um, but there is a lot of people who are uh, continuously trying to improve themselves, which I think is just as good, if not better, because the prodigy could, rest on his laurels and slowly start to dwindle away. Whereas somebody who has to improve and has to learn how to constantly improve, then that's a skill that they're continuing to build as, their career develops. So I do think there is a lot of potential, but it really does just remain to be seen, right? Some people just fall off. Some people lose interest. That's fine. Um, but yeah, um, lots of potential.
Nice, nice. I love that. I absolutely do. I love every answer that you've given over the last 10 years. And you haven't been on every year, but you've been on pretty damn close. Every year, every 18 months, you always come back. And I always ask, and maybe you're too nice to say no. I think you legitimately enjoy my company.
I
I
mean,
think
I'm not that nice. So, if I really didn't want to, I'd say like, nah, man, you were weird last time.
I don't think I've ever been weird.
Well, I mean, that's what I would say.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, fair enough. Okay. So I'm just gonna quit while the quitting's good because I don't wanna tarnish anything else. Before I let you go, my final question, and this is well actually it's not even a question, it's more of a statement. I want to say thank you. It's been, 7, 8, I don't know how many conversations, I lost count. But you've always been gracious, you've always been kind, you've always given straight talk a lot of time. And from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you in and out of the ring as a person. And I will call you a friend. You don't have to call me a friend, no fucking pressure, but I will call you a friend and say that you are one of the reasons that I love this scene. You're one of the reasons that I love highlighting this scene. You are one of the reasons that I appreciate the fuck out of a lot of the people there's a lot of people in Ontario I don't like. There's a lot of people in Ontario I can't stand. There's people that you're probably close to that I don't give two fucking shits about, and that's the honest truth of it. But I will say, you and I have always had that rapport, and I always thank you for giving Straight Talk Wrestling the time.
Well, you're welcome. That was very cheesy.
Just trying to be genuine, bro. Trying to be. It wasn't cheesy. It's from the heart, man. I appreciate the time that you gave me. You didn't have to. All those times you didn't have to say yes, and you didn't have to come back on the show, but you did. And you know what? There's going to be somebody, some young kid that's going to listen, and this time they won't be able to hold it over your head. So that's a good thing.
Well, maybe.
All right. Well, that's it. Is there anything else you want to shout out? Because, like I said, this is coming out in August. Is there any bookings that you got coming up that you want to highlight that you want to talk about?
Um, well, let me look at my calendar.
Right on.
I don't memorize my bookings.
No, I know.
No, not really. You said you're trying to get it out by C4, right? Or by
Yeah, I was
fighting
trying to get out
back.
before C4 to definitely hype that one up a little bit for sure.
Yeah, well, I mean, fighting back would be the one that I would hype. No, not really. I
So hype
mean,
it up.
but,
Like
well,
August
I
such and
mean,
such. You got to do like remember like the monster truck shows back in the day. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
yeah, yeah. Well, it's just not one that I think really even needs hyping up. It almost always sells out. I feel like it's really just me saying get a ticket before you can't get a ticket.
There it
It's
is.
all it's always a good show. They always book like these super names. They had Cody Rhodes on a couple years ago. It's a good show. Just come out and I'll shout out Barry too because more people should come to Barry. I think Barry is a hidden gem in Ontario, and that would be September 6th.
There you go. Barry, C4. Two places
Mhm.
I have yet to hit. And I have to get off my ass and get up there. Barry's not bad for me. Barry's like 45 minutes, maybe an hour, give or take.
Eh, give or take.
Give or take. So
Depends on traffic.
it's not well, yeah. In fact, Toronto traffic sucks. Listen, you've driven in other places in the world, right? Would you
I mean, I've been in the vehicle while people have driven.
okay, you've been in the vehicle, but you've driven on you've at least been in a car on other roads.
Yeah.
Would you not agree that Toronto, specifically the GTA, is
Mm.
probably the worst fucking traffic ever?
Um,
You and I
I
were
would
both stuck in it today. We were both running behind, probably because of traffic.
I would take it one step further, actually.
Okay. Okay.
Not only do I think the highway is and the traffic is all terrible, it's the shits. I think Canadian drivers are some of the worst drivers. Uh, Maybe not in the world, but
In North America?
no, in the world. It's brutal. It's brutal, man. Like I don't know what happened, especially after COVID. People are super reckless, super selfish. Everyone's always trying to cut people off or make illegal turns. And you know what the new thing is?
Hmm. Driving on the sidewalk? I saw that today.
No, I haven't. That's even worse. No, people will go on the highway and they'll nearly miss their exit. So they'll go all the way across, or even they're not right next to it. But you know the little like when it starts to
Oh, the median.
separate,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
people just go through that thing all the time, man. I see it like 3 or 4 times a day if I'm on the highway, and people run red lights every single day. I see somebody run a red light, and I
Oh, there's
know
red light cameras everywhere now.
I know, and I know I'm getting old because my first thought is like, oh, they're gonna hit a kid. That's my first fucking thought. They're gonna hit a kid.
I don't mean
And
to laugh, but you're right. You're absolutely right.
same thing with stop signs. They don't stop at the freaking stop signs. It's brutal. I get so angry. I have such road rage that I always have to tell myself, don't follow this person. Like I want to like follow them and intimidate them so they know that something's been done wrong. But yeah, I honk a lot.
I'm a honker too. Listen,
No, you
worst story ever happened to me literally a couple weeks ago was actually when we had this interview scheduled. I had to reschedule because I forgot it was my niece's graduation. So on that day, I'm
world's best
driving.
uncle, by the way.
Yeah, sorry.
World's best uncle.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So we're driving to the restaurant, and it was like one of those lights to like turn into a plaza. So it was a straightaway, and there's a light to turn to plaza, but it was green for me. So I had to go. So the car in front of me moved up. So I went to move up. This lady starts coming, making the left while it's still green for everybody else.
Mm,
And I stop. She literally comes this close, hitting me, and she has her hands up. She's talking on the horn like "fuck you." I'm like, do you not know who has the right of way?
it's brutal, man.
Oh, it's brutal.
It infuriates me, and I'll be driving with vertigo. And I'm always like honk at them, honk at them, and he's like, why? What good is that gonna do? We're still gonna be in the same situation, and I would argue that you should honk at people who do things wrong because half of the people out there are doing these asinine movements with their cars and they think it's fine because nobody's honking at them. They don't know. They're like, oh, I must be a great driver. That's the worst part. Half of them think they're good drivers. They think they're good drivers because nobody fucking honks at them.
Well, that's it, guys. Gabriel Fuerza's advice for life: honk at fucking stupidity.
Yes, and I'm not saying lay on the horn. I'm not saying be a dick about it, but I'm saying,
Just give it a
like
honk.
give it a little purp, 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 like
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I just want to keep like a bin of tomatoes in my car and just like be lobbing them at
You
people.
know what? I honestly it's
Oh,
oh, you know what? This is a great way to end these conversations. I mean, obviously, we're going to see each other at shows. I'm still doing the commentary and the interview thing, the backstage stuff. So, yeah. But again, dude, honestly, thank you for all the time you gave Straight Talk. I do appreciate it. Cheesy or not, you're such a dick. But I appreciate the fucking shit out of you, man. And one more time for the road. Shout out your socials so everyone knows where they can follow the journey that is Fuerza.
well, it's Fuerza lives on pretty much everything. If you go on one, there's a little link tree at the bottom. You can click on that and it'll take you to everything, including my pro wrestling tees.
Perfect. Which, not toot my own horn, number one, even wore this one for the final.
Good
Wow.
one. Yeah,
That
it's a good one. It's a good one.
it's actually one of my favorite shirts of yours you have. I'll be honest with you because it's nice. It's light.
It's like soft.
It is soft. It's very soft. A couple
Mhm.
of your shirts, not gonna lie, hard, a little hard.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you get lucky with the t-shirt guy, and sometimes not so much.
I still own them all. I own every single one of them. So I will say that I have I want to say that I've put gas in Gabriel Fuerza's car more than a night or two.
But probably, yeah. I appreciate it.
I know you do. All right, guys, that's it for this one. So for the last time, thank you to my guest, Gabriel Fuerza, Peace, Love, and Wrestling. As we wind down, I won't be seeing you forever, but I'll see you next time. Peace.
Yo, we just people from the north side. Want some Timmy's at the shore fine. Winter ready on the four ties. Heavy traffic during 4-5. Gotta hustle on your own time. Color people every port side. We just people from the north side.